let's get started on the mat, and we'll start in a comfortable seat and just do a bit of, hey Rosa, and just do a bit of breath work and meditation just really quickly before we dive on in. Hey Vivian. So find a comfortable seat. You're welcome to sit however you'd like. You can sit on your heels, cross-legged, legs straight, whatever works for you. And before we close our eyes, just take a few moments to roll the shoulders back, particularly if you kind of have been in the zone of working since you woke up and you haven't really had a chance to move your body, just getting in just a little bit of movement in the shoulders and the head and neck. And then today we'll make some conscious decisions about where we place the hands. So if you feel like you need to ground a little more, you're sort of kind of all over the place today or this week, palms down, really nice kind of physical and visual cue for grounding. And if you're feeling very grounded and maybe too grounded, you need to lighten up a little bit, be a little more open, palms are up. Okay, so making that decision and then letting the eyes soften or close. And we'll start first by just taking a few moments to notice how we're feeling in the physical body today. Scanning from the top of the head all the way down to the feet. And just seeing what bubbles up. Are there places that you're tight? Are there places that you feel really open and maybe stretched completely? Are there places that you're sore or feel off? Just noticing those places, not so that you can judge them or worry about them in this moment, but so that when we start our asana, our physical practice, that you're aware of how your body is feeling today and you can adjust accordingly. Once you've gone all the way down to the tips of your toes, bring your awareness to your breath. Before we do any fancy breath work, just notice the air coming in and coming out of the body. What does it feel like on the inhales? What does it feel like on the exhales? We'll do two different breaths today. We'll start with our Kapalabhati breathing. That's that kind of vigorous breath of fire. So this is a breath where we'll be moving the abdominal muscles. Sometimes it's nice to touch your stomach. And we'll be punching the exhales out through the nose. This is not a calming breath. This is a heating breath. So if you start to feel lightheaded at all, feel free to take a moment and just breathe normally and then come back into the rhythm when you can. We'll just do one round for 30 seconds. Eyes can be closed or open. We'll be breathing in through the nose and then taking that kind of snorting exhale through the nose. But again, the action is coming from the abdominal. Take a full breath in and let it go. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out through the mouth. Take just a few natural breaths. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your mind feels. Again, that is a heating breath, a vigorous breath. The next breath will come into that sense of calm. Coming into our Ujjayi breath together. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, but instead of focusing on the exhales, we focus on both sides of the breath. Equal inhale to exhale. Breathe in through the nose, close the mouth. Breathe out through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the nose. And keep going. I'm going to talk just a few more moments about this breath. I think you're all familiar with it, but just in case you need a refresher, this Ujjayi breath is a breath that comes from the throat. So instead of hearing that sort of snorting sound we did with Kapalabhati, we're hearing more of a humming sound from with the breath coming through the nose. For some people, the analogy of sounding like Darth Vader works. And for some people, something a little more positive and light, like sounding like the ocean waves on a shore, is a nice analogy. So either one you choose, that's the sound you're going for. And today we'll let our breath be our intention, finding that sense of peace and home in this breath. I invite you to count the breath if that helps you. We're going for balanced breath on both sides. Taking just 3 more rounds of breath, and then we'll get into our asana practice. And taking that sense of peace and home and balance with us, let's find our down dog. So coming into that inverted V shape, that triangle, the apex of the triangle is your hip. We'll start to walk that dog out. And I'd actually just happened to, kind of before I started my videos, quickly scroll through the videos that I've missed and the things that have happened the past few days. And I noticed Ben did a video, and a couple of folks commented and mentioned, I think Zoe, you mentioned that you've been running a lot more. So today we'll be focusing on opening up through that back body, but also moving through the upper body, right? So if you found yourself maybe biking more or running more than usual, lower body is getting a lot of action, you're getting a lot of cardio, but maybe that upper body doesn't feel like it's on balance. So coming back to stillness in your down dog, let's widen out the feet and walk the hands back until you can drop your heels. We did this a couple of weeks ago. If you need to walk your hands farther back than I am, that's fine. You're going for feeling the heels down, maybe a deep stretch in your hamstrings, maybe not so much. Take the left hand to the center of the mat, sweep the right arm up. So take a twist and then thread the needle and grab the outside of the left leg. Remember, you could be as low as the ankle or as high as the thigh. We're working to keep the hips square and just twist from the ribs up. So from the ribs to the crown of the head, deep breath in. Deep breath out, slowly let go. Right hand down, left arm to the ceiling. Again, find that opening and then countering the opening with twisting under, grabbing the outside of the right leg, rooting through your left foot. Again, so you find that the hips aren't moving. It's just the upper body. Big breath in. Exhale, come back to center and walk yourself out to plank. We'll do a couple of different movements in plank and then get right into our vinyasa flow. Start to shift your body weight forward and back, taking that sawing action. Remembering that the tip forward, that is the tip forward we use for our chaturanga and for our arm balances. Coming back to center, lifting the right leg up and just holding it here. You may want to roll out through that ankle. You may want to bend and straighten through that knee. You may just hold still. Take 2 more breaths here, right foot off the ground, right leg off the ground. Upper body strong, pushing the hands into the mat. And then take the right foot down. Same thing with the left. Kind of anything that comes to you, ankle, knee. You could even get that hip going with some leg rolls. 2 more breaths with this leg off the ground. Spine long. And then coming back to plank. We'll roll to the outer edge of the left foot. Keep the left hand down. Reach the right arm up for your side plank. First Vashisthasana class. Maybe you need to modify, dropping that left knee. But if not, you're stacking your feet. And we're all pressing down in that left hand and lifting up with the right. Take a breath in. Breath out, come back to center. Other side, right is down, left is up. Finding that sense of balance, which some days feels easier than others. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. 1 more round. Coming back to plank, fast little plank roll. Lift that right foot up. You're stacking your shoulders over your wrist for now. Flex through the right foot, really kick out through the heel. Keep the belly pulled to the spine, and then 3-legged dog, push into it. Nothing changes with the limbs. They all stayed straight. And then we'll roll backward into 3-legged plank. Again, everything is straight. Lifting up, 3-legged dog. Rolling forward, 3-legged plank. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. Right foot down, left leg lift. Kick out through the heel, pull the belly to the spine. Press into the hands, lift the hips, 3-legged dog. Feel the length an opening in the front of the hip, and then roll it forward to your three-legged plank. 2 more times. Inhale takes you back. Exhale takes you forward. Pushing down in the hands, spreading those shoulder blades. And then left foot down. Lift the hips, down dog. Walk the hands back to the feet and knees, and just let yourself kind of sway and bounce a little bit here. Sort of free form it. Doesn't have to be a yoga pose per se. And then inhale, hands on the shins, half lift. Lengthen the spine, reach out, reach out, reach out to the crown of the head. And then exhale, fold forward. Just one more time, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, push through the feet, reach out, reach up, coming all the way to stand. Hands come to heart center, fold it back down. So start to walk yourself back out, finding your plank, and pausing for a moment in your plank. Inhale, shift forward like we did in the saw. Exhale, drop the knees if you need to. Inner elbows roll forward, chaturanga. Hold it halfway down, push back to plank. 2 more times. Inhale, shifting forward, halfway down. Exhale, pushing the hands, come up. 1 more time. Inhale, halfway down. Exhale, up. Now you get to decide, do you want to come down to the belly and keep the thighs on the ground for your back bend, or do you want to roll over your feet for up dog? And there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer, just different ways to take a back bend. Exhale, hips high, down dog. Once again, we'll walk the hands back to the feet. So just doing a slightly different vinyasa than usual. Again, bounce it around, shake it out. Take that heavy ragdoll sensation, this forward fold. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Just 1. Push through the feet, reach out, reach up, stand all the way up. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold it over. Once again, walk yourself to plank. We'll do less chaturanga push-ups, just 2. Inhale, shift forward. On the tips of the toes, come halfway down. Drop the knees if you need to. Push all the way up. Your inner elbows are hugging your ribs. They're not leaning out. Now you get to decide, do you go through chaturanga to the belly for your back bend, or do you roll over your toes? Take a moment in your back bend, and then think belly to spine to come into down dog. 1 more time with this flow, walk the hands back to the feet. You know the deal, heavy forward fold. Maybe you grab your head, maybe you make it less heavy and more intense and you grab the backs of your legs. Inhale, half lift. This time, keep the spine long, reach out from that half lift all the way to mountain. Hands come to heart center, Samasthiti. Last time, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, big dive forward. Walk it out to plank. 1 of those push-ups and then right into the back bend. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, come down. Go through your back bend and meeting in down dog. Staying in down dog, inhale, 3-legged dog. We've been here many times before already. Keep everything straight, roll forward into 3-legged plank. Side plank, right side over the left leg. Can you keep your right leg a little bit off of your left leg? Exhale, come back to plank. Inhale, 3-legged dog. This time, bend the knee, open the hip. Let the right foot fall towards the left glute. And then step the right foot all the way through. Low lunge. Today, though, keep those back toes tucked because we'll be coming up to high lunge. Reach the arms up, tip the gaze up, tip the chin up. And then as we come into our high lunge, bend the elbows out wide to the sides as you lift your knee. Lower your knee, reach your arms up. 2 more times. Inhale, high lunge. Crescent lunge. Exhale, Anjaneyasana, that low lunge. 1 more time. From that low lunge, come to high lunge, but tip the torso forward for power lunge. Arms swim back. We'll turn the palms to face each other and really think about reaching the middle fingers so far away from your shoulders that you feel the triceps turn on here. Keeping the arms behind you or maybe bringing them to your hips. Early warrior 3, slide it forward. Try not to open out that left hip, just push with that left heel. It's the same leg as our 3-legged dog, except that it's parallel to the ground versus possibly perpendicular. Take 1 more breath. Roll that left knee up, one-legged mountain. You all know I love a good balance challenge. From here, open the left knee to the side, kind of like a dangling Chad tree pose. So my foot is not attached to my inner right leg yet. Step that foot all the way back, warrior two. Right leg forward, left leg straight and back. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, reverse triangle, straighten your front leg. Feel that deeper stretch in the side body, the outer hip even. Exhale, side angle pose. Rebend the right knee. You can rest your right arm on your leg, or if you feel like there's space, you go deeper. Try not to let this left arm kind of hang out. It's engaged, it's long, it's keeping the line of your back leg. From here, triangle pose, straighten that right leg, noticing that your side body stays long. And a nice trick for home practice to check is to actually put your hands on your ribs. And you can tell if they're sort of crunching down, if they're not long. We want to keep them long, reaching out from the waist. Returning to warrior two. Windmill the hands inside of the right foot. Lift the left leg, drop the left knee. Coming into lizard, maybe we crawl down to the elbows. Maybe you're looking for that twist, right arm back, or that quad stretch. Again, for those of you that have been running and biking more than the pre-COVID world, feel free to get in those extra stretches here. You have 2 more breaths. Or like these, you've just been sitting in the car a lot. All right, slowly let it go. Coming into the hamstrings, lift yourself up, wiggle that right foot center, straighten through the right leg. Last week we worked on that balance, half splits pose, and we're going to do it again today. Back toes can be tucked or untucked. Back hip is over back knee, so that bone stacking helps us stay stable. Right toes flex to the face, and then bring the hands to prayer. And like me, you might need to tap it to the ground. You may need to not fold over that front leg quite as much. Think about your inner thighs pulling towards the center of the mat, and think about your belly button pulling towards your spine. And whether you're more upright or more folded, your back is long. So we're not rounding the back, we're not caving the shoulders. Take 1 more breath. And then rebend the right knee, hands to the mat. Lift the left knee, and we'll slide forward for an early standing split. And don't worry about the optics of this. You're letting your head dive down. Your hands or fingertips are as close to the floor as you can get. And if the floor is far, you're using your water bottle or a yoga block. Take a peek at the left knee and hip. You want them to face the ground. Foot can be flexed or pointed. Keeping a squareness and maybe starting to tip the weight more forward into the ball of the right foot. Take 1 more breath here. And 1 more balance. Bend the knees, roll it up. This time we get our actual tree pose in. Left knee open. Find your inner right thigh, inner right calf, or inner right ankle. Pushing the foot and that inner leg in equal amounts to each other. Keep the arms lifted. Tip the chin up, look up. Take a breath in. Strong and solid in your roots. Take a breath out. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. Chair pose, airplane the arms. Feet can be parallel close or parallel far. Weight in the balls of the feet, belly to the spine, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels, arms up. 2 more. Airplane and lift. Lower and traditional. 1 more time. Keep sitting down and down and down. Boat pose, however you need to get your butt to the mat. Feet flat, knees bent, or legs straight in the air. Hands come together, create a fist, roll the shoulders down the back, but reach the fist out. We'll inhale, twist to the right, tap the left foot down and up, come back to center. Left side, tap the right foot down and up, come back to center. Right, left leg does the movement, center, twist left, now the right leg. You have the pattern, 2 more on each side, keeping the crown of the head reaching away from the hips. Last one each side. Okay, coming back to center, release the arms, palms up, lengthen out the spine, and then bring the knees to the chest and start to rock and roll. We aren't quite done and ready to go to vinyasa on the other side. We'll meet in a malasana squat. Toes turned out for most of us, heels turned in. And I'm just facing the long side of my mat, but you could stay facing the short side of your mat. Elbows to the inner knees, thumbs to prayer, sitting up really, really tall. You can stay here. This is a great squat, particularly if your hips have been feeling really tight and not very open. You can also crow. I've seen a couple of you but crowing lately, have lovely crows. If you're not super familiar with crow, you don't feel comfortable with your crow, I'll talk you through it. If you feel comfortable with it, maybe you hear some of these points as reminders. Bring the hands flat in front of you. Tip the weight forward. So just like we did for that chaturanga, when you start crow, your legs, the inside of your knees, to come to the outside of your arms, above your elbows. Just like chaturanga, inner elbows are forward, we're tipping the weight forward. But we want to actually dome the back a little bit so our core feels turned on, almost like you're in a perpetual crunch, a perpetual rounding. Start to bend your elbows, tip your weight forward, look forward. That looking forward can be the key to making this. Lift the right foot up if that feels good. Lift the left foot up. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. We'll all meet back in Malasana squat. Parallel the feet, wiggle out the hips, shake it out. When you're ready, inhale, half lift, go through your vinyasa. And if you feel like you want 2 vinyasas because that standing series was quite long, feel free to go through a second vinyasa. When you get to down dog, you're welcome to move or stay still. And we'll take 2 more breaths before the left side. Firm in the legs, firm in the arms, rooted in the hands and the feet. Okay, yogis, here's that left side, left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Keep all of your limbs straight. Keep your left knee and toes facing the earth. Roll forward to 3-legged plank. Open out side plank. See if you can keep your left foot over your right foot, even just a smidge. Come back to plank. 3-legged dog. Exhale, step through. Low lunge. Drop your back knee, keep your toes tucked, lift your arms. Just like we did last side. When we lift the knee, we bend the elbows. When we lower the knee and tap, arms go straight. 2 more. Getting that nice stretch in the front of the back hip. Coming up, airplane the arms, tip the weight forward, power lunge. Turn the palms to face each other or bring the hands to the hips. Zip the belly to the spine, warrior 3. Push down to lift up. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Roll it up. Right knee lifts, arms lift. Open the right knee out. That hanging Chad tree pose. We're not in tree just yet. Step the right foot all the way back. Big, broad warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Keep your left knee bent. And then find a straightening of the left leg. That deeper stretch in the left side body. Push into the left big toe. Bring yourself up. Rebend your left knee, side angle. Remember, your left hand can go down or stay on the leg, but right arm is extending through the elbow. Triangle pose, lift your waist up. Think about teeing your arms or taking that at-home practice, touching yourself, seeing how your ribs feel. Are they long or are they crunched? We want them long. Take 1 more breath here. Bring yourself up to warrior 2. Windmill the hands inside of the left foot. Lift the right heel, find your lizard. So coming on down into that stretch, you might want to wiggle the left foot all the way to the edge of the mat, coming down to elbows, adding the twist, adding the quad stretch, whatever you need. A few more breaths here and noticing if this side feels a little different, needs something a little different than side 1. All right, coming into that hamstring stretch, that half split as a balance can be a doozy, a little doozy for me on the first side. Bring that right hip back over the right knee. Straighten the left leg, lift the left toes, hands prayer or at the hip. And remember, if you feel more comfortable with this as an upright torso, go for it. Think though about that corset, really knitting everything in. And if you're folding over, it's the same thing. It's the same straight back, it's the same engaged core. Take 1 more breath. And then we'll tip forward, hands down, lift the right leg, standing splits. Remember, we really want to keep things square, square, square. So the visual here is right knee and toes facing the ground, even though they're really far from the ground. Take one more breath. Shake the head out so you know that you're not kind of unconsciously using your neck. And then roll yourself all the way up. Actual tree. Right knee out, foot comes inside of the left leg. Remember, it's above or below. We'll reach the arms up and we'll tip the gaze up. 2 breaths. Think about finding your center. Even though one of your legs is off the ground, you're still centered over the hips. One more breath here. Chair pose, this time hands to prayer. Bring the legs all the way together. Zip the belly in. Think about someone taking their hand at your hip creases and that sits you back. And it sits you back and it sits you back. But you're not coming into a back bend. You're keeping, again, the ribs in that corset action. From here, we'll twist without hooking. So don't hook the left elbow. Do twist to the right though. So the left elbow faces down, right elbow faces up. Come back to center. Again, that visual of the ribs, that hand to the ribs might be really helpful here. Come back to center. Now dip lower. Bring the belly to the thighs. We're in that half chair. We should feel our thighs a little bit, working a little bit more. Twist to the right. Left elbow outside of the right thigh. Deep breath in. Breath out. Come back to center. Other side. Right elbow outside of the left leg. Find that leverage. Squeeze the knees together. Come back to center. Hands to the mat. Crow pose again. And if you've been doing crow for a while with the knees outside of the arms, I'm going to challenge you this time to try the knees in the tricep. So this is actually kind of like knees in the armpit. It feels really awkward, and for me, it took a while to get it, like a year or so. Maybe it will come more naturally to you. Palms are flat, middle fingers forward. It's the same concept. We're bending the elbows, we're looking forward, we're rounding the back, and then we find that lift of the feet. I find it really helpful for myself to point my feet, actively point my feet up towards my groin. Wherever you are, take one more breath. And we'll all meet in our boat pose. You choose the boat, 3 breaths. Any arms, legs straight or bent or on the floor. Spine long, collarbone broad, really proud chest. Knees in, rock and roll. This time you're gonna rock and roll through your vinyasa. Again, you might choose to take 2 in a row since we were standing for quite a while in a variety of poses. The vinyasa is often a way to wash out from poses that are held longer, as well as to get that spinal movement. You have 3 breaths. You could choose to stay in a resting pose. Down dog can become restful. You can hydrate, or you can play with crow again, or another pose that you're working on that feels challenging and invigorating. This is another good chance to come back to that intention. It was simple today. It was just maintaining that balanced breath. So if you've forgotten about your breath, come back to it in this state of focus. Find the equilibrium, find the balance. And we'll meet in down dog. Right leg lift. Bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, step it forward. Nothing fancy. High lunge right away. Head forward, arms back, or hands on hips. Warrior 3. We push forward, we lift the left heel, strong and tall. Roll it up, we'll add on. Still that dangling chad, open left knee. Then we'll take the left foot over the right thigh. One-legged chair with the hip opener in the left leg. You can stay more upright in your torso or fold halfway to your shin or all the way to the ground. There is an arm balance here. And if you want to work on your arm balance here, this is our flying pigeon. You would take your left toes and wrap them around your right arm. I literally have my toes hooked to the front of my arm. Same concept as all of our arm balances. We want to find that chaturanga in the upper body. hands flat, middle fingers forward, looking forward, bending the elbows. Now you have your left shin resting on your left arm, your right foot wrapping, or your left foot, excuse me, wrapping around your right arm, looking forward, tipping forward, and then taking that right foot off the ground. That's step one. Step two is pushing your right leg away from your left, but we don't need to get there just yet. And if you're still rocking out that fold, you're rocking out that fold, we've got one more breath. And then everybody meets in one-legged mountain. Open the left leg out, big warrior two, set it up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, triangle. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reverse warrior, bent knee. Exhale, reverse triangle, straight knee. Inhale, side angle, bent knee, forward. Exhale, triangle, straight legs. Staying here, keeping your waist long. Hands come to the hips. Bend the right knee, look down. Happening different way. We're going to push straight up with that left leg. When it gets to hip height, stop. And you may question, if I'm not standing in front of a mirror, how will I know if my leg is at hip height? You're feeling into it. Does it feel lower? Does it feel higher? You want it straight out from that hip. One more breath. And then right into standing splits. Hands down, square off that left hip. So it's no longer open out to the sleeve. It's drop down. Shake that head yes. Shake that head no. Step the left foot back. One more high lunge. Bend the back knee, chair pose, airplane arms. Bring the legs together. We'll work through some half chair. Bring the belly to the thighs, reach the arms back. Turn the palms to face your body. Again, feel the triceps turn on. Lift the heels. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the ankles even if you want. Take a breath in. Breath out, drop the heels, standing back and push it forward, lift the chest. Exhale, fold your flow. And again, if you want to double up your flow, go for it. If you feel like you need that extra little energy boost. And we'll take 2 more breaths before the right side. So whatever you need to do in those 2 breaths, you do them. Okay, left leg lift. Bend the knee, open the hip. Let it feel good. Nothing fancy. We step through high lunge. Reach up, look up. Just one time. We bend, we lower, we lift up. Head forward, arms back. Again, you decide whether hands are on hips or not. Slide forward, warrior 3. Roll yourself all the way up, one-legged mountain. Open the right knee out. This hanging chat, again, becomes figure 4. That hip opener, remember, upright, simple, sometimes is best. If you're feeling foldy, you fold. And if you're feeling like the flying pigeon, at least start. Hands flat. Hook the left toes around, the right toes around the left upper arm. Then that right shin rests on the right arm. You look forward, you tip forward, you lift your left leg. Take a breath in. And then everybody will come on back, lifting up. Opening that right foot back, big, wide warrior 2. Inhale, reverses your warrior. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, triangle. One more time. Bending, reach back. Keep reaching back, straighten front leg. Reach forward, bend front leg. Straighten front leg, triangle. Take a moment, hands to hips. Look at the floor, bend the left knee, slide forward. Push down with all that you have in the left foot. Push out with the right foot. You are open in your body to the side. Half moon. One more breath here. And then standing splits. Drop your right hip until it's in line with your left. Shake your head out. Let it go. And then step the right foot to meet the left. Chair pose. Hands to heart center. We'll come back to twisting. We've been crowing a lot. We're going to keep with the crow family and take one more variety of crow. Side crow. Left elbow coming outside of right thigh. You can totally stay here. If you do not want to go deeper in the arm balance, you stay in this twisted chair. If you do, lift your heels and sit down. You're closer to the ground this way, and you're more compact, which are two things you want for this side crow. Hands flat. Fingers are facing the side, not the front. I like to look side. Some people like to look forward. I like to look where my fingers are going. Starting out with this pose, if you're not familiar with it, you are gonna rest your hip on your back arm and your knee on your front arm. As you get more advanced, this back arm is not connected to the hip at all. So you're basically balancing all of your weight on your front arm. And Asina's getting in on the action. We're gonna bend those elbows. Look forward, tip forward, find your chaturanga. When you feel that your hip and arm and upper knee and arm are connected, start to flex or point through the feet, squeeze the legs, and lift the legs up. Take a deep breath in, breath out. We'll all meet back. Coming to center, taking a moment, standing back bend. Exhale, chair. One more side, twist it to the left. Again, I'm not saying that you should be doing side crow. I'm just giving you that option. Staying here is lovely. Really nice twist, really nice leg work. If you're looking for that upper body, hands point to the side, back arm hip, front arm, I say knee, I really mean right below the knee. Look forward, tip forward. Feel the connection between your arms and your body. Start to lean forward and lift the legs. Take a deep breath in, breath out. Everybody come back, twisted chair. Chair pose, standing back, then open up. Exhale, vinyasa or two. Again, whatever you feel like you need, not forcing you to do extra vinyasas if you don't want to, but sometimes that can feel really good just to flow in that way. And whenever you get done with your flow, again, you have some time to yourself. 4 breaths, whatever you need. Rest is always available, but so is activity. So you get to dictate what level is like right now and what you need. Got 2 more breaths. And we'll come into a really, really short flow that incorporates some of our finishing stretches. Meeting knee and down dog. Right leg lift, bend the knee, open the hip. A little bit of core work before we stretch. Right leg, right arm, roll forward. Lift it up, bent knee, open hip. Right leg, left arm. Extend the right leg out. Drop the left heel, fallen triangle. If you want to go deeper, pull the right femur back into the hip socket and try to lift that right leg. Maybe you grab a hold of the outside of the right foot with the left hand. Fallen triangle, it's a version of side plank. 1 more breath. Let it go, left hand down, right leg up. Roll forward, 3-legged plank. Open out side plank. Right side of the body is on top. Left is on bottom. Any variation you want. 1 more breath. Right hand down, right leg up. Now the dessert, half pigeon or figure 4. We did this earlier, right, as a balance not that long ago, or we did it as an arm balance. Now we get to do it as the stretch that we typically do it as. Half pigeons, you can fold right on forward, letting the head release. Figure 4s, you can lay down, and whether you use your hands or not is totally your choice. We have 3 more breaths here. So while some of that action maybe felt a little more like that Kapalabhati breath, that breath of fire, where we really need to muscle up and muscle in and focus, now we're in that more Ujjayi breath state, where we want to start finding some balance and some slowness and length. Wherever you are, you decide how it makes sense to get back to down dog. And again, if you'd like to flow once, twice, go for it. If you'd like no flow, hang out in down dog for a couple of breaths, and then we'll get into that left side. Okay, yogis. Left leg lift. Bend the knee, open the hip. Keep this opening, left leg, left arm. Take it forward, plank. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale for the twist. Pause, shoot the left leg through. Drop the right heel, lift the right arm. Stay or pull the left femur back, lift the leg, grab the outside of the left foot with the right hand. Maybe take one more breath. Right hand down, left leg up. Rolling it through, half pigeon. Oop, I forgot side plank. We'll get to it. Come on into your half pigeon or your figure four right now, though, and we'll incorporate it as we come on back to our last vinyasa. But for now, settle in, settle down, allowing yourself to feel whatever it is that's coming up. Sometimes this can be hard. Maybe we've learned through society or our families and friends to kind of temper down whatever we're feeling and to move it aside and just kind of plow through and get the work done, whatever that is. So if this is a challenge to you, this is a great time. There's no work involved. There's no kind of outcome that we're trying to achieve. So see if you can really tap into that listening side and just notice what comes up. Once again, we'll meet in down dog, but don't forget, we're going to do a side plank, so don't get too cozy yet. However, it makes sense to come into down dog. Left leg lift, roll it forward, side plank, left side over right side, any variation you want of your Vashisthasana. Take one more breath. And then last vinyasa or two if you want them. Again, no pressure. And we'll meet on our back. So whether you'd like to step through to a seat or hop through, it's up to you. We'll lie on down. We'll take one bridge or upward facing bow. I'll cue bridge. If you know upward facing bow, go for it. Hands by the sides, palms flat, feet parallel and flat. Inhale, lift the hips up. Think about the knees squeezing an imaginary yoga block, and then lift a little bit higher. You might see me turning my head, but ideally you are not turning your head. Hopefully you're feeling this interesting enough. Take one more breath, and then lower yourself down. Widen your feet to the edges of the mat. Let your knees support each other. And then start to windshield wiper side to side. And then bringing the knees into the chest for that wind removing pose. And finishing up with happy baby. So finding that sort of childlike freedom. And this is a shape that can really morph. So feel free to let it morph. Feel free to let it move. And we'll finish up, right knee into the chest, left leg long. Taking that right knee to the left side for a supine twist, right arm out to the right. In through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. One more inhale. Exhale takes you onto your back. Switching sides, left knee close, right leg long. Left knee over to the right, find your twist. Full breath in. Full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. Come onto your spine. Hug your knees in close. Lift your head and shoulders. Give yourself that tight squeeze, that loving hug. And then relaxing into your final resting pose. Letting your arms and legs go long. Letting your body relax after this 45-minute flow. And I'll bring us back in about a minute and a half. So letting yourself completely relax. All right, yogis, slowly start to move your body again in whatever ways that feel good, sometimes smaller. Start into bigger, finish is nice. When you're kind of done waking yourself up, bring yourself onto either your right or your left side in a fetal position. And taking a moment, we had a really simple intention for this practice together, but I invite you now to create an intention, the same or different, for the rest of your Tuesday, possibly for the rest of your week. And then when you're ready, you'll bring yourself to a comfortable seat. We'll finish like we started. And again, check in, palms down or palms up. What do you need? Closing the eyes, tipping the chin ever so slightly. We'll finish with one final breath. Take a full inhale. Open your mouth, let it go. The light and teacher in me sees and honors the light and teacher in all of you. Thank you for joining.